guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're interested in the story time of how I got out of my Range Rover, how I got into my Jeep, and you want to see a tour of the new Jeep, keep on watching. Okay y'all, I'm gonna tell you this story about how I got out of my Range Rover, why I left Range Rover, how I got into my new car, but I figured I would tell y'all while I'm getting ready so that instead of sitting here watching me talk, you can watch me talk while I do something. So, oh, what a time it has been the last week and a half. The absolute emotional up and down. It's been a lot, okay? As I've stated before, I'm not a makeup girly. So I'm gonna show y'all what I'm doing and what I'm using, but I'm not a makeup girly, all right? So I love this primer, Smashbox Photo Finish. I very much enjoy it. I feel like it helps my makeup stay on well. As we start with the beginning of our makeup, let's start with the beginning of the story. So if you've been on my channel, you saw that I got a Range Rover not that long ago. It was 6 months ago. I got my Range Rover, and before I even got it, I told myself, if you don't like it, or you know, if it's like too high maintenance or it has issues or what have you, you can get rid of it before the warranty is up. Because when I got the car, it still had about a year left on the manufacturer warranty. So if anything was wrong, right, I could just take it to the dealer, they would fix it. And if you saw my vlog turned story time about getting my car, then you saw the absolute hoopla that transpired immediately, okay? Immediately. It was a little bit ghetto, okay? And let me tell you something. This is gonna sound very, very bitter, but I promise you, it's the truth, okay? I'm using NARS. This is the light reflecting foundation, and my shade is Barcelona. Call me bitter, call me what you want, but here's my take, okay? Range Rover is the F-boy of car brands, okay? And I say that with proof, all right? Hear me out. So essentially with Range Rover, they look real good. They look real good, real fine, they sexy, they're appealing, they're attractive, okay? And tell me what F-boy is not attractive. Be for real. You hear everybody saying, they're gonna let you down, they're unreliable, can't trust them, blah, blah, blah. And you think, okay, well, maybe that's how they treated you. They not finna treat me like that. That's what you think, all right? Obviously, the struggle love, toxic love seed was not fully uprooted in me before I got this car. I have heard for years that Range Rovers, you know, are not good cars. People hate them after they get them. Ooh, girl. All the things. But, you know, I just had to see for myself. It was my dream car. I just had to see. And so, you know, similar to an F-boy, right? You start off and things may be a little rocky and you're like, you know what? Let me love you how you need to be loved. Let me get you the TLC that you so desperately need. And then it's not that they necessarily continue acting up, but they hint that they finna act up again. And it's just like, can I trust you? Can I not? But then they look so good. They look so good and you look good with them. So it's just a little, you know, hoopla. So I decided right very early on, I'm gonna get rid of this car before my warranty is up. So I've been watching the market, okay? The used car market, I've been watching it. Actually, let me rephrase, that's a lie. I have been checking the value of my Range Rover. I checked it several times. And last I checked, I was actually going to make money. So I was like, okay, bet we have a little bit of time. We can wait. And I had been thinking about, just do one. I had been thinking about cars that I wanted, but I wasn't fully decided. I was really leaning toward Lexus because I was leaning toward getting a hybrid. And baby, in Texas, we be driving, okay? I don't like to be doing that, but sometimes you just can't get around it. So I went ahead and, you know, did some research, whatever, was pretty sold on the Lexus and all that, but I wasn't actively going to like test drive and whatnot. And so I decided last week, okay, this weekend I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna start shopping. I checked on the value of my Range Rover. And unbeknownst to me, the used car market has severely gone down and my value plummeted. So I was upside down on this car and I have never been upside down. So, you know, with being upside down, if you guys don't know what that means, it basically means on my car loan, I owed more than the value of my car. So you have a gap. So if you try to sell the car, they're going to give you the value of the car, but that's not enough to pay off the loan, so you got a gap. So if you want to get out of the car, you have to pay the difference. And baby, let me tell you something. I went to so many online little appraisal type of things, right? CarMax, Carvana, Vroom, they all had me upside down. I was like, I'm a child of God. Like, let's be for real for 1 second. So now after I do my foundation, I set it with this Makeup Forever. It is the Matte Velvet Skin. This is in Y365. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is very old. So I don't know if this shade still exists. It looks like this though. And this just mattifies you out a little bit. And so I was kind of panicking because I'm just like, I don't know what to do about this. I'm expensive. Let's be very clear. I am expensive. For someone that came from low-key poverty, I turned out to be very expensive. And I know that. And I'm okay with that. But I also have beef with spending money. So it's not really a vibe for me. You know what I mean? And so I'm playing with online payment calculators because I like having a nice car, but it's not like the most important thing to me. You know what I mean? I like to enjoy the car that I have because I'll be paying for it. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I found out that Jeep makes a hybrid Grand Cherokee. So I was like, oh, so you're in the running now. So now we're just gonna do a little bit of concealer. I'm using the NARS. I think this is like the, Radiant Creamy Concealer. And this is in the shade Ginger. So I have several shades. I use Ginger mainly to just like basic conceal. And then I use, what is this? Candela? I don't know. This one. So I use this other shade when I'm trying to like brighten my under eye, do like my glam makeup. We're not doing that today. I go shopping, right? I go to look at the Jeep because I just need to admit that Jeep is the love of my life. I don't think I've like been prepared to admit that, but apparently they're the love of my life because I have had multiple. My car before the Range Rover was actually a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I did enjoy it. I just didn't like love it, but I enjoyed it. We had some good times together. That's the car I drove across the country in when I moved to Texas. I went there looking at the hybrids, and guess what I found out? Spoiler alert, baby! If you are looking at a Jeep hybrid, Jeep as the manufacturer is doing a lot of incentives. So on my particular car that I got, spoiler alert, I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee hybrid. The MSRP, I want to say it was around like 65 or 66, and I got it for 50. So anyways, I found the Jeep. I liked it. The issue is that it wasn't at the dealer I was working with at the time. And so they said they could get me the Jeep. I said, okay. What would you offer on my trade? Now listen, I told you I was upside down on the Range Rover. The offer that this dealership gave me, $10,000 less than what I owed on the car. I said, I'm gonna have to get back to you. So let's just do the timeline. Last Saturday, I went to Jeep, test drove, was like, oh, I'm not buying this blue car from you, but I will take a black one. They found me one at a different dealership. They said, we can get it for you if that's what you want to do. Monday, I negotiated the price down to a very comfortable price for me. I got $5,000 knocked off MSRP plus additional rebates and whatnot. So I was saving, I think, like $17,000 off this car that was already overpriced, but anyways, so we decided that, Monday, we decided the price. I'm just using Laura Mercier translucent, y'all know, the viral setting powder. That's just what I'm doing. And I'm doing a very poor job on my makeup today because I'm distracted talking to y'all and I'm really not doing anything. I'm for real about to get food. And not even like with somebody. Like I'm about to go get food and bring it back to my house. I'm just doing this so y'all don't have to sit here and stare at me not do anything. So Tuesday, I decided to sell my car to CarMax. They honored the offer, and I'm pretty sure the only reason that they did that is because I found this product. It's a trim restore product, and on my Range Rover, I didn't notice it when I got it because it was raining that day. But my trim, my black trim, like the shiny black trim that you see on the top of all these Range Rovers, it was very faded. it was giving matte and ashy, okay? And it's supposed to be giving glossy and moisturized. But I found out there's this trim restore product. I'll put a picture, like a before and after. And you know, the Lord led me to it. I asked him what brand to get. He told me Mother's Back to Black. So that's what I got. I wiped that stuff on that Range Rover. Immediate difference. I was shook. But anyways, I sell my car on Tuesday. I tell the Jeep guy, hey, I'm selling my car. Let's move forward. He says, all right, bet. Sends me the credit application to do online because I have to do it online so that they can, you know, secure everything and make sure I'm really in this before they go get the car. I say, all right. Wednesday, he ghosts me. Thursday, I'm like, hello, what's good with this? Did you get the information that I need or that you needed from me? And he's like, yeah, like everything's good. Then he calls and says, actually, so, you know, the car that we were looking at for you, it sold on Monday.
Bruh.
If it sold on Monday, why on Tuesday did you agree to move forward? So he's like, you know, we can get you another one. I just got to find it. I just got to, you know, I'm not finding any black ones. What other color would you do? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I will do white. Black or white, be for real. So now I'm just gonna do a little bit of bronzer. NARS bronzer in the shade Laguna. So, you know, that's some hoopla. So then Thursday he finds the car for me, a white one, and he says, oh, you know, it's at another dealer, and on Monday, you know, we agreed to a price and we were gonna do a trade for a trade. So basically they were going to trade a car they had with a dealer to get the car I wanted. And we negotiated the price and everything. He said, now we can't do that price because they don't have a car to trade. So they have to go and buy the car from that dealer and bring it. And you know, he's not telling me the dealership where it is. He's just saying it's within a 2-mile radius or 200-mile radius. So I'm just like, okay, this is kind of ghetto, but you know, I got over it. The price, it was like $2,500 more. Which is annoying, but I'm leasing. I'm not buying. I'm done with the buying. Just for this season, we are done with the buying. And you know, he's like, yeah, we'll just have to get like the financing squared away. I said, all right, fine, whatever. This is end of day Thursday. So Friday, finance calls me. They say we need a deposit and we'll go get the car. And I'm like, fine. So I give them the deposit, okay? He says, I'm gonna tell the salesman he can go get the car. I say, bet. I also text the salesman and tell him I did the deposit. Keep me posted on when the car's coming in. Because I wanted the car on Friday because I've been without a car since Tuesday. This man doesn't reach out to me all day. So finally, after like 4 o'clock, I think it was like almost 5, I call him. He declines my call. I am very livid, okay? I'm trying to give him a grace period to call back. He's not calling back. So I call and say I need to speak with the GM. And then of course the salesman calls me 5 minutes later and says, yeah, I just want to know when you can come in and do all the paperwork so we can go get the car. I said, I gave you the deposit. I was told, give you the deposit, you go get the car. He said, no, that's a misunderstanding. I said, you know what? I need to take a step back from you because I cannot. Now I'm about to use the NARS blush in the shade Behave. It's very light. We'll see how it goes today. Meanwhile, right as soon as he goes to me on Wednesday, I was already looking for additional cars so I can go work with someone else because this man had ghosted me. So I had already been in contact with another salesman on like Wednesday, Thursday, because they had an option for me. So, you know, after the original dealership I was working with was just doing too much buffoonery for me, I, you know, reached back out to the other salesman just to get more info. When you're getting a new car, make sure you do your research, make sure you compare prices around dealerships, make sure you get the fair value, negotiate down the MSRP. Do not tell them what you want your monthly payment to be, because they will finagle the terms and do a lot of hoopla to get the payment down, but they never bring down the price of the car. So always get the MSRP, okay? Well, the MSRP, right? And then it's your sales price. So the sales price is what you pay. Get the sales price down and make sure they're not charging you no buffoonery type of fees, okay? All right, so I'm also looking to see like maybe I should switch brands because I thought God and I were on the same page, that the Jeep was the car for me. I was going back to my baby. And I was just confused because I'm like, God, is it not this car? Now listen, Y'all gotta honor your prayers, because I told the Lord, when I was dealing with the first dealership, I said, if I'm not supposed to get this car, let it not get to the lot. Can't be mad when he be answering your prayers. Can't be mad. Finally, after working with the second dealer, they had a white one that had the wheels I wanted, and then they had a black one that had the wheels I did not want. And there was a difference in the model, a very slight difference, so they couldn't match the price. And the price difference wasn't that much, but it did impact the monthly payment. And basically, when I sold the Range Rover, I was like, this is an opportunity to downsize and save money, because I'm trying to buy another house and do other things. I'm trying to live my rich life. Shout out to Ramit, all right? If you've seen his show on Netflix. I'm trying to live my rich life, okay? I'm gonna do a little bit of eye makeup, but just a little bit. So I'm just doing basic brown. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what palette this is, because it's very old and I don't want to be dragged, okay? This second dealership, he was trying to make a deal. He was following up with me. He was answering all of my questions. I asked him ahead of time over the phone to do a lease estimate for me based on the price of the car, to make sure that I would understand, right, what are all the fees, what's the monthly payment, what's the residual value, what's the total price of the car. Like, he did all of this over the phone for me. I didn't even have to go in the dealership. So you can do that, okay? If you're shopping for a car, you can ask them to get an estimate together, a pencil together, right? And it's an estimate until they run your credit and whatever. But if you know your credit score, then it should be fine. So I asked him to do that for me. He did. And then I asked him to do it on the white one. He did. Which, I know this story is wild, y'all. This is how I tell stories. But the second dealership, we're going back and forth, all the things. And I'm like, you know what? Can you pull both cars? He was really fantastic, and what had happened was he pulls the cars for me, right? I get up there. I need to do some eye makeup. I don't know why I took my hair down. I get up there, he has both cars out so I can see the difference in the wheels and whatnot, and the black one was the preferred one. It just didn't have the wheels. But once I got up there, I was like, okay, it's fine. But what was so wild, okay, this whole situation, here I am, frustrated, crying, asking God what's going on, why I gotta pay so much money for these cars, all the things, just very frustrated, very much about me. And then I get up there with the rep at the dealership, and we go on a test drive, and I say something like, you know, the Lord moved me down here, or something like that. And he's like, oh, you Christian? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, me too. And I'm like, bet. So we start talking about the Lord and whatnot. And, you know, we continue the test drive. We get back in. I'm like, I'm going to take it. Let's get going. Let's get all the paperwork in. And we're chatting. And then we bring up, you know, the Lord again. And we're talking about him. And I mentioned that I got deliverance. This is, y'all, this is just drugstore Maybelline waterproof gel pencil in black, okay? Let's see if I can do this from far away as I talk. And so, you know, later in the conversation, he was like, oh, you mentioned deliverance. And I was like, yeah. He was like, what is that, if you don't mind me asking? And I was like, so we had a really, really good conversation. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that all of this hoopla was so that I could meet that man and I could minister to him about deliverance and being set free from spiritual bondage and all of that. I'm not going to give details of our conversation, but that was the reason. That was the reason for all of this. I do highly recommend the dealership, because what they do is they have their prices online, and that's the price. Like, there's no additional fees. They don't do dealer fees or add-ons or any of that. Like, the price online, that's the price. And so when I had him do my lease estimate, when I got in the office yesterday, I was like, okay, I want to do this much down. Can you rerun the estimate? And he came back, and it was exactly as I estimated based on how much I wanted to put down. When I got in the finance office, it was, I think, like $1 more. So they're very honest. Their prices online are their prices online. The only difference from the price online and what I paid is that the price online didn't reflect the Jeep manufacturer EV incentive, and that incentive is only on hybrids, okay? I don't know if Jeep is doing other incentives on other cars, but on the hybrids, they're doing incentives. So get that money, baby. If you're buying, it's a tax incentive. So if you are buying the car, typically they're telling you to like wait until you do your tax paperwork, but if you're leasing the car, it comes off the top at the front end, right? So right now, when you buy the car, the Lord showed me a lot of favor with the car. I mean, first, they didn't have a license plate bracket, but they were able to find one for me. And then the windows weren't tinted, and he was like, oh, my tinner left for the day, so you'll have to come back. And I was like, oh, that sucks, but like, okay. Tell me why he called the tint guy, the window tint guy, and asked him to come back to the dealership and tint my windows so that I wouldn't have to drive back. Just above and beyond, above and beyond. And I don't think I mentioned it, but I went to McKinney, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Dodge City up in McKinney, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep City, something like that. I'll put their website down below. But I went there, and it's up in McKinney, Texas. And they're family owned, and again, their price is online. That's the price. No additional fees, no nothing, right? You'll have taxes and like document fee and whatever, but no like dealer add-on $2,000 package and all of that dumb stuff. But they do add-ons, right? Like he tinted my windows, but they didn't charge for it. They didn't add that in after the fact. So I am grateful. All right, y'all, I'm just going to finish up, then I will get dressed, and then I'm going to show you guys the car and give you a little tour. Okay, y'all, so here's the car. It is plugged in right now. So again, it's a hybrid, but it's an electric hybrid. So it plugs in right here. And then there are indicator lights, you can see right there, but it's fully charged. So it plugs in directly into the car, and then, you know, it goes into a normal wall mount charger, or I'm sorry, a normal wall plug there. And then all you do to unplug is you will just pull that, and now it's charged. I took the car off the charger and pulled it out so you can see it better. So I hope y'all appreciate this, because my neighbor's about to be like, what is she doing? Let me show y'all the interior. So I did black leather, as you can see, and I did like the dark gray color wood, not brown wood, but I did all black. And then you can see the panoramic sunroof, which I'm obsessed with. Okay, y'all, so I went ahead and turned the car on so I can show you like the battery, the hybrid, the modes, all of that. And then I'm gonna show you some other fun features that I think are amazing. So I'm running out my battery for you. Hope you enjoy. So on your dash, you can see right up here is the percent of my battery, so it's 100% charged. So on the electric battery, I'm about to get 28 miles. That's my range. And then from my gas tank, I can get 290 miles. So combined, my range right now is 318. And so to zoom in here, you can see, right, the battery and then the gas. And so down here, it has your modes. So right, you have your hybrid mode, your electric mode, and your e-save mode. So electric is fully electric. Hybrid is where it's gonna use, right, gas and your battery, and then e-save is where it's gonna fall back and use gas and save as much of the battery as possible. And so then on your screen, right, you can see like how the power is flowing. So if I start driving, which here, put it in drive. So if I wanna hit the gas, you can see. So you can see all of that. And then your shifter, right, is going to be this. Are you in park? All right. So you can see all of that here. And then, of course, right, you're able to customize your home screen if you want. You can choose, right, your media, all of that fun stuff. And then what I'm super excited about is if I come to controls, the surround camera. So I have cameras, right? I can see all around the car as well as my backup camera, and then I can take a look at, you know, any of these views. So love that for me. And so in my car I have heated seats as well as ventilated seats, so that's air conditioning seats, heated steering wheel. This is a wireless charger for your phone, and then of course I have USB plugs, and this is an HDMI port for the passenger side. So I just need to turn the passenger screen. Is it on? Yeah. So this is in my passenger seat. So if somebody wants to plug in HDMI, and if they want to like watch movies or something, they just have to plug into that HDMI and it'll show on that screen. So I love that. The other thing, oh, it's hot in here, y'all, and I can't roll my windows down because I just got them tinted. But the other thing I love is this. So this is actually a digital rear view mirror. So where's my little knob? So this is like a standard, right? You're just looking out using the mirror glass. But this is a digital one. So it's actually using the camera on the back of my car to display here. So that's really helpful if you are moving, for example, and your car is full up and you can't see out the back, or you got balloons or something. That's amazing. So I think that's pretty much it in the front. Let's go and look at the back seat because there's a couple things back there as well. And I'm gonna turn this baby off. Okay, y'all, so in the back, right, you got your vent, but I also have USB chargers back here, USB like standard, and USB-C. There is an additional like regular wall outlet charging port, and then it has heated seats here in the back. So, right, you've got the panoramic sunroof, and then the trunk is just a trunk, if y'all want to see. I'll go ahead and show y'all, because why not? So here's your trunk space. It comes with, right, this is your charger, the case for your charger, and then your spare tires in here. Your charger goes right there, but I moved it, and then that's your jack. And then yeah, that is the car, and then the button to close it is right here. So that is the new car that I have. I'm super excited. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the hybrid situation, how it goes, if I do actually get 20 miles on the electric or not. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!